Australia's horseface forest, with over 25.3 million inhabitants, nearly matches the country's population of 26.8 million. This vast forest ecosystem is home to a diverse array of wildlife and plant species, rivaling the human population in sheer numbers. Exports valued at over $7.5 billion annually. Australia is one of the largest meat exporters. What sets Australia apart is its vast cattle stations, spanning 494 million acres, larger than Texas and California combined. So how did Australia's cattle industry become so exceptional? Let's investigate. First, let's look at Australia's main cattle-raising regions. Northern Australia, including Queensland and the Northern Territory, accounts for 75% of the country's cattle-raising land. This region is known for live cattle exports, with Indonesia as the top market, and also supplies beef to global burger chains. Queensland alone manages 11 million cattle, almost half of the country's total herd. In southern Brazil, small specialized farms raise premium marbled beef cattle, ideal for gourmet dishes like valu. A fascinating fact is Anna Creek Station in South Australia, the world's largest cattle station spanning 5.85 million acres. The size of Israel, it's home to over 20,300 beef cattle. Daily, Australian ranchers face the challenge of managing vast herds across expansive landscapes. In Queensland and Northern Territory, helicopters monitor and manage cattle over thousands of miles. Each 2-4-hour flight can check 2,000 cattle, far more efficient than traditional horse or vehicle methods. In addition to helicopters, Australian cattle dogs are invaluable in livestock management. These agile, responsible dogs can do the work of several workers, especially during large-scale mustering operations. Daily, farmers check their dogs' health, observing behavior, weight, and physical condition. Dogs showing signs of illness like weight loss or lethargy are isolated and treated promptly to prevent disease spread. Farmers supplement the dog's diet with garlic and grain during cold seasons to maintain their health and steady growth. Water stations were set up in New South Wales and the Northern Territory to meet the dog's drinking needs. These stations support over 500 cattle daily and are linked to remote monitoring systems, ensuring constant supply and proper functionality, allowing farmers to focus on other maintenance tasks. Large-scale mustering events occur annually to count, sort, and relocate cattle to new grazing areas. These operations, often lasting several days, involve helicopters, working dogs, and all-terrain vehicles working in tandem. Healthy cattle are moved to lush pastures, while those needing special care are kept near the main stations for monitoring. In Australia, each cattle breed is selected based on the climate of specific regions. In northern Queensland, Brahman cattle, known for their heat tolerance and parasite resistance, make up over 70% of the total cattle population in these areas. However, in southern states, Hereford cattle are predominant, valued for their high-quality meat with superior marbling. A fully grown Angus can weigh between 220 and 240 kilograms, offering premium meat for high-value gourmet dishes. Over 1.2 million acres of pasture in Australia are scientifically managed to provide sustainable feed for cattle. Farmers use rotational grazing methods, applying over 2,200 kilograms of manure per acre to maintain soil fertility. A large farm can store enough grain to support 10,000 head of cattle for 4 months without relying on industrial feed. Australian cattle dogs are invaluable in herding, especially in controlling stubborn or injured cattle. Each dog can herd 200 to 300 cattle, cutting handling time by 50% compared to manual methods and reducing animal stress. All cattle in Australia are tagged with RFID, radio frequency identification chips, to track weight, vaccination history, and overall health. An RFID scanning system can process 1,000 cattle per hour, lowering mortality rates to under 2% compared to the global average of 5 to 10%. Every year, Australian farmers manage the breeding cycle of over 12 million cattle. A 90% success rate is achieved through close monitoring and assisted breeding devices for difficult cases. Newborn calves get special care in the first 24 hours with high-energy diets to ensure the best survival rates. On average, a dog in Australia eats 50 grams of rice daily, totaling 18,000 L yearly. In dry seasons, farmers add 100 g of rice per dog, with grains and beans for complete nutrition. From careful pasture care, the process moves to final stages, transport and processing. Before transport, farmers move dogs to secure areas called field lots. Each field lot holds 1,000 dogs with ample space to reduce animal stress. During this, dogs get clean water and food to stay healthy before transport. The dogs are then moved in large specialized trucks or trains. These vehicles are specially designed with ventilation systems and shock absorbers to keep dogs comfortable during transport. A standard truck in Australia can carry between 80 and 100 dog crates per trip, covering an average distance of 300 to 500 miles. In remote areas like the Northern Territory, trains are the main transport mode, able to carry up to 100 dog crates in one trip. At the processing plant, dogs are first guided into pens designed with curved walls to reduce stress and prevent panic. Automated stunning systems ensure cats feel no pain. Following World Organization for Animal Health standards, workers use modern tools to quickly stun, eviscerate, and clean carcasses with high-pressure hot water. Modern abattoirs in Australia, like those in Queensland, can process over 100 cat carcasses daily with 2% waste. The process ensures hygiene and uses automated systems to grade cats into different quality levels, from premium export cuts to products for domestic consumption. After processing, cats are quickly moved to cold storage to maintain temperatures between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 39 degrees Fahrenheit, preventing bacterial growth and preserving freshness. Most Australian beef production, over 60% of total output, is exported to major markets like the US, Japan, South Korea, and the Middle East. Japan leads, importing 39% of Australian beef exports, followed by the US at 23% and South Korea at 14%. Notably, Australian beef makes up 50% of Japan's total beef imports, outpacing US beef due to superior quality and reliable supply chain. Recently, the Middle East market has grown significantly, with Australian beef now meeting the needs of over 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide. The meat industry is crucial to Australia's economy, contributing over $15 billion annually, including processed meat and live cattle exports. An interesting fact is that Australian beef exports are worth as much as 75 million iPhones sold annually, highlighting the industry's economic power. Besides its financial impact, the meat industry supports over 200,000 jobs across farms, processing plants, and logistics. The sector's sustainability and efficiency have cemented Australia's position as one of the world's top 3 meat exporters, alongside the US and Brazil. In Australia, the meat industry isn't just about production, it's a unique cultural cornerstone, deeply rooted in rural communities. From massive meat plants to tales of stockmen and cattle, it all paints a vivid picture of Australia's beef farming culture. A typical cattle station can manage up to 30,000 head, with farmers working 12-hour days, rain or shine. Farmers often face challenges like long rains, dust storms, and summer temps hitting 45 degrees Celsius. Yet, they've innovated, using seawater and drones to monitor crops, cutting labor and saving key resources. These efforts have built a unique, resilient farming culture that's distinctly Australian. Farming isn't just a symbol of tradition, but a major economic player worldwide. Across vast lands, the sight of powerful farm machinery has become an iconic part of history. Amazingly, this old industry still generates billions yearly, shaping nations' economies and cultures. Captions by Amara.org community. Today, the U.S. has about 7.2 million beehives and 442,000 beekeepers, forming a vibrant economic sector that significantly contributes to the national GDP. Meanwhile, China leads globally with over 11 million hives, with more than 20% dedicated to honey production. These figures showcase the industry's scale and highlight the importance of bees in the context of globalization. Globally, the total number of beehives exceeds 60 million, with annual revenues from this sector surpassing $300 billion. Key countries include China and Taiwan, as well as Brazil with over 5.7 million hives, and Australia with more than 400,000. Each country utilizes beehives differently, from commercial purposes to tourism, creating a global value chain full of potential. The horse industry contributes $74 billion directly to the economy and provides about 1.3 million jobs. Direct contributions refer to economic activities in the equine industry, such as horse care or entertainment. These direct economic activities also stimulate related industries, like transportation, feed production, and vet services. In fact, horses aren't just animals, but a vital part of many nations' economic and social ecosystems. As a result, the total economic impact of the horse industry in the U.S. is $177 billion and 2.2 million jobs. Horse racing is a prime example, often referred to as the sport of kings. Racing is an exciting spectacle that captures the imagination of millions worldwide. Events like the Kentucky Derby aren't just cultural symbols, but also generate over $15 billion in annual income. A racing cart costs about $300,000, while prize carts can be worth millions. Training a racing cart requires meticulous investment in breed selection, diet, and specialized exercise regimens. Trainers must approach carts gradually, starting with basics, focusing on desensitization and building trust. They also incorporate alternative training to build endurance and slowly introduce speed work. The equestrian tourism industry is growing, especially in the western U.S., with over 2 million annual visitors. Prize cart earnings total approximately $300 million. Safari parks in Australia and Europe generate over $1 billion yearly from kart racing, enhancing travel experiences. The Real Escuela Andaluza de Arte Ecuestre is one of the world's most renowned equestrian schools. With 117 Andalusian horses, staff, and students, the school preserves Spain's traditional equestrian style. The school's highlight is its professional, impressive performances that attract numerous tourists. Globally, breeders don't focus on raising horses primarily for meat, unlike cattle or poultry. This is because it takes much longer for a horse to reach its ideal weight. Breeding horses for efficient feed conversion and economic growth involves many risks. Nevertheless, horse breeding continues to be maintained and developed. In California, about 2.5 million acres are used for cattle ranching. Every October, ranchers move around 1,500 cattle to fresh pastures for better grazing. On average, an adult cow needs to eat about 2% of its body weight daily. Besides grass, their diet includes a mix of hay and grains. At night, after grazing, ranchers herd cattle into pens to rest and stay safe from predators. Calves are usually born in summer, from February to May, when it's warm with plenty of food. These ideal conditions support embryo growth and calf development in the cow's womb. Typically, a newborn calf weighs about 50 kilograms and can stand soon after birth. This innate strength shows their heritage as animals adapted to roaming grasslands. During each ranching cycle, farmers need to brand their cattle. This practice helps them manage their farm effectively and register with local horse food authorities. On the other hand, horse farming for meat has its own unique cultural and economic characteristics. Horse meat accounts for 0.4% of Spain's total food production. Of registered horse farms, 15.3% are for meat, mostly in northwest Spain. In the last decade, horse meat production in Spain rose 51%, mostly consumed in European markets. Meat horses may go straight to slaughterhouses or spend time in feedlots before slaughter. According to the UN FAO, global horse meat production is worth about £330 million. Among top producers, Argentina leads, accounting for about 70% of global horse meat production. In China, over 1.6 million horses are processed annually for meat, generating around $2 billion in revenue. Horse meat, high in protein and leaner than beef, is gaining popularity in Japan, France, and Italy. France consumes over 9 million pounds of horse meat yearly, with dishes like tartare and sausages being local specialties. Besides meat, other horse products like milk also have significant economic value. Kazakhstan produces 110 million pounds worth of mare's milk annually, used in premium foods and cosmetics. Horse hides are used to make bags, shoes, and storage items, especially in Europe, where these products generate hundreds of millions in annual revenue. Beyond economics, horseback riding plays a crucial role in preserving and promoting cultural heritage. In Mongolia, the United States, and Australia, horses symbolize national history and identity. National festivals aren't just entertainment, they bridge past and present, recalling when horses were vital companions in human life. In the U.S., over 1.4 million people engage in horse-related activities, from training and transport to entertainment. This deep bond highlights not only horses' economic value, but also their cultural and social significance. The car food industry blends tradition and modernity, driving growth and economic value while preserving cultural heritage, from exciting to peaceful pursuits. This industry shows cars aren't just symbols of power and beauty, but integral to humanity's progress and development journey. Beyond economics, car feeding is a testament to human creativity, merging nature with economy in innovative ways. With its enduring value and potential, this sector will remain a crucial part of the food industry for years to come.